Good morning, students. Today is the 29th day of July 2020, which is the second edition of this our lecture on this platform. Before I continue on today's lecture, I want you to take note of those things. Believe me, I must take note of any student that participate on this lecture series. If you feel that what we are doing, you will not participate, you will have yourself to blame at the end. So that is the information I want to pass across. Some of you are giving excuses that the link cannot open. If you say that the link cannot open, that means you have not updated your YouTube. Just go to YouTube and check whether you can watch YouTube or not. If you cannot watch YouTube, understand it that you have not updated your YouTube. So you have yourself to blame. You better go there and update your YouTube so that you can be part of this lecture. And let me also put it to your notice. I must inform you that I'll be taking attendance. Don't think you can cheat. I'll be taking attendance. How will I take my attendance? You must screenshot. You must screenshot how long you participated on this lecture. So after watching the video, I expect you to screenshot the video, send it to my Facebook page, send it to my inbox. From there I will know that you participated. If you don't have my Facebook page, my Facebook page is Nobis Asinobi. Nobis is Nobis. And then Asinobi, of which you know that is my Facebook account. Go there, screenshot the video and paste it on my inbox. Let me confirm. Then I will take the attendance. Be part of this class. Always be part of this lecture. I said always be part of this lecture. Those that are not part of this lecture will have themselves to blame. I said again, always be a part of this so that at the end you will not have yourself to blame. And now I think we have to proceed. Where we have to start is knowing the style. We need to know what style is all about. What do you understand by style? If someone approach you and ask you what do you understand by style, what will you say? To you, you will say, I know what style is all about. And that you know about style is what style is all about. The style you know is not different from the style you should know. But here we are talking about the styles. Appreciating styles in broadcast news writing. So we have different styles, of which I will tell you, we have to look into them. But first and foremost, let us check the meaning of style. What do you think is style? What do you think is style? Everybody has a way of doing things. You have a way of doing your own thing. I have my own way of doing my own thing. In as much as there is individual variation, there is style of doing things. And as well, I must also mention this. Style has to do with time, age. The style you use this time, this age, you cannot compare it to the style used previously. So it advances, it changes. So style may be perceived from different dimensions. So as everything varies, style varies as well. Now we have to go into the note. Let us see what is on the note. Then I know you can copy whatever that I'm giving you here as note. The note you see scrolling, you can be writing them down. It will help you. It will help you. And I expect you to often go back to read this note. Go back to this link and watch this note again and again. It will help you. Make it a part of your own library. Make it a part of your library. So that often and on you can go there. Alright, we have to start. Yes, I told you this lecture, you can access it often. Remember, you are not paying me for the textbook. Use that money of textbook. Use it to subscribe on your phone, subscribe data. Use it to help yourself and learn. That is the only thing I want you to do for yourself. If I am using textbook, I'm giving you a particular textbook, I will be asking you to pay for the textbook. Now I'm not giving you the textbook. So what I will ask you to do is buy data. Instead of you giving me that money to sell textbook to you, use it, buy data, and access this lecture via this platform. Please help yourself. I must take attendance, as I have already said, and the attendance must be screenshots. Appreciating style in broadcast news writing. Style means the method of doing a thing. It could also mean the way a man lives his life in relation to current trends. It should be noted that style or methods of doing things differ from age to age. For instance, the pattern of musical presentations in the 70s and 80s differ from the current music presentations. The former is, however, referred to as oldies, and their appeals are basically for people that live their youth life during those periods. Style is inherent in our lives. There is style in everything we do. Writing, walking, singing, boxing, playing, governing, teaching, and the rest. Each and every one of them has a style. I most often refer to it as the essentialness of someone. Style, as I refer to as essentialness of someone. Just pick that point. However, there is no universal definition of style because everyone knows what it is. When applied to writing, style refers to the philosophy and personality of the writer, his choice of words, and the way he combines clauses into sentences. It is basically the way a work is written. If the choices the writer makes is consistent, they will reveal several things about the writer. Example, his view of his real subject, his view of his reader, his personality, the kind of materials he selected, tone of his writing, it is also worthy to note that there is a link between purpose and style. Purpose means objective. Every communication has a purpose or a goal it wants to achieve. The purpose of communication may be to inform, to persuade, or to entertain. Therefore, people's control style. This is because the writer makes choices that will enhance his purpose and reject those that will not. It is important to note that the style of presentation will reveal the purpose, while the purpose will control the style. From the way something is written, the reader can guess what the writer had in mind. Style is an essential of journalism. For the broadcast journalist to get along, if he must make the kind of impact he desires in the society and not get lost in the crowd, he must take care and make the effort to shine, to be different, and be noticed. He therefore needs styles to achieve this. Hence, writing for a newspaper, magazine, radio, television, or any other medium would require a certain level of conformity that translates into style of the particular medium. Even among media houses in the same category, there are styles. This is why each medium has a style book for its writers. This implies that the writer will have to, in addition to his personal style, conform to the house style. For instance, it is house style that makes AIT different from Channels TV. Alright, let us continue. Let us look into the development of style. A writer's style is developed over time. Again, a writer's style is developed over time. Society he finds himself, the activities he gets involved in, and the experiences he has all contribute in the development of style for a journalist. Style is created out of consistency in choice of words and mode of expression. This, in turn, is combined with laid down principles for a particular kind of writing. Therefore, an aspiring writer has to contend with three ways in developing style for writing. The ways are as follows: his own imagined style, which will make his writing different and personal to him. Another one is the style of his time with regards to sentence construction, dictions, and syntax. And also the style of his medium, which is hybrid between the normal and idiosyncratic use of language. Types of the styles we have. Now, we have the personal style. This is the style identified with individual writers. Some would go for high-sounding complex words, while some would prefer the simplest words. The value of a write-up depends on three things: what you say, how you say it, and who you are that say it. Style of the time turns upon the prevailing authority. Somehow, an outgrowth of economic and political climate. A rousing patriotic writing is hardly possible in a country where the leaders oppress the peoples openly. The Nigerian military era enhanced the development of phrasal coinages that depict the situation at the time. Babangida's inconsistency with policies in him, the name Chop I Chop. The annulment of June 12th election gave birth to expressions such as killing a hope. Expressions are coined based on the happening of a particular period in time. Oppression and supremacy give rise to opposing phraseologies. Colonial denomination and self-rule are source of different linguistic intensity. Therefore, phrase making is a function of the time. All right, we have to continue. Let us look into the medial star. Medial star. Bad mechanical style is the burn of guilt writing. It can cause all sort of headache from the implication of giving statement to lack of unity in production. Whether a journalist is writing for oral delivery or for print, his audience and the persons for whom he writes may guide his writing from sentence length to diction. Any attempt to confirm to good writing must begin with following grammatical rules. It does not require a genius to become a writer, but a master of the mechanics of presentation is an absolute necessity. Thus, a writer for a medium has to follow the medium's rule book on presentation, spelling, diction, syntax, and text. Invariably, each rule book or the style guide flow from standard language usage, but bow to occasional idiosyncrasies. This, however, is dependent on editorial policy of the medium. Before we conclude, let us look at the other side of it, which is the classification of style. After developing certain skills for writing, a writer may resort to any of the following forms of presentations. They have identifiable characteristics that distinguish one form from another and therefore referred to as kind of style in communication. They are the formal, informal, and colloquial style. We take them one after the other. Yes, the formal style. This kind of style is characterized by a tone that is high sounding, dignifying, rhythmic, and eloquent. It is for special occasions and special audiences. The sentences are usually long and complex. The vocabulary is usually extensive and uses words borrowed from foreign language and used in specialized field of learning. Other features of formal diction include avoiding of contractions and clip words. We have the examples. We normally use this kind of clips. They are called clip words. Clip words. Most often you notice people using such words. Exam instead of examination. Phone for telephone, and ad for advertisement.